Welcome students in lecture 2 from unit number 1 from the subject Strategic Human Resource Management. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the rest of the strategic fit approaches that we discussed in our lecture number 1. In lecture 1, we discussed in detail about the strategic fit approach. We discussed about the best fit approach, and in that we discussed about the various ways of the strategy formulations. We discussed on the various authors, those who have contributed in the field of the strategic development. And today in this lecture we are going to start with the second important fit, strategic fit, which is called as the HR bundles or the configuration approach. When we talk about the various strategic fits, as we discussed in our first lecture, that there may be total 5 kind of the strategic fits. It may be the best fit approach, it may be the contingency HR approach, it may be the best practice approach, it may be gestalt approach, or it may be bundles approach. And out of all these 5 approaches, 3 are the main. In our first lecture, we discussed about the best fit approach, and in this lecture, today we are going to discuss about the HR bundles or the configuration approach. So let's start with the discussion. When we talk about the bundle may be named as the integration of the few things into one component, or you may take it as like the HR bundles or configuration approach talks about the integrated HR activities. It talks about the HR bundle or HR practices in a one bundle. It is a popular approach which is also named as the internal fit approach or the horizontal integration approach. This approach says that like there must be the horizontal integration of the various HR practices inside the organization. It says that coherence may be achieved when the firm has an overriding driving force for strategic imperatives. That here they want to say that like with the bundle of the HR practices, the organizations can really do well. For example, if the driving force for any company is to maintain the quality and the quality, so for that the HR practices must be accordingly prepared, like there must be the main focus that should be given to the high performance. There must be the high recruitment standards for the employees. There must be the proper training and development facilities that should be provided to the employees. There must be the required set standards for the behavior of the employees. So while when you associate all these separate HR practices in one bundle, then the force that you want to attain, that is the quality, you may achieve in a better context. So that's why the bundle approach advocates for the bundling of the various HR functions, HR practices under a same roof. It talks about whenever there is like integration of the various HR practices in a single bundle, so that may work in the improvement in the company. Like they also try to just suggest, like there was an author named as McDuffie. He conducted a research in one of the plants and that was dealing into the products, and they worked with the flexible production manufacturing systems, and the plant was in the US. And what they did, like they tried to put the bundles approach, and they just put certain HR practices on one of the team that were dealing into the production there, and they found that there was 100% improvement in the commitment level of all the employees there. So with that they also proved that HR as a bundle can really be very important and can play a crucial role in the organization. So while we talk about the HR function, it may work into the favor of any organization. Then there are but certain drawbacks of the HR bundles approach. Like the first drawback is like the senior managers call for changes. If there is any change in a particular HR practice, it may just completely create the problems for the other HR practices also, because they all are associated with each other. So sometimes it is really difficult to go for a minimum change in a single HR practice. So on that grounds, HR bundle approach may not work well. Then the third approach is named as the best practice approach. It is also called as universalistic approach. According to this approach, the organizations must follow the best practices. There should be one ideal organization, and if the organization really want to attain a good place in the market, so they should follow one of that ideal organization best practices. But like any organization may have the various best practices. The practices may be related with the employment security, selective hiring, team working, high pay contingent on company performance, extensive training to the employees, reduction of status differences, and information sharing. So this approach says that like there may be one of the I like best ideal organization for any organization, and whatever the practices that are used by that ideal organization, the organization should follow all that practices for its favor. So this is also one of the approach that advocates for the best practices that are adopted by best of the organizations in the whole world. Now, but certain drawbacks are also associated with this approach. The one of the drawback is that most of the organizations are of the view that we do not take any other organization as the best one. We always believe that ours is the best organization, and we are not ready to follow the practices of any other competitor organization. So because the people are not in the favor of this approach, so that's why this approach again is not very much utilized by most of the companies. So this is all about the three approaches. We discussed in detail about the strategic fit approach, we discussed in detail about the HR bundles approach, and then we discussed in detail about the best practice approach. Now, the characteristics of the HRM. When we deal with a subject like SHRM, it is an important concept. It is including a lot of the features. Like it is an integrative approach to the people management. SHRM says that like the to manage the employees, it is not only the responsibility of the HR department, but it is the responsibility of the whole management, including the top managers and the line managers. So HRM takes the human resource management function as a generalistic function. Not only the HR department is responsible for people management, it is all the line managers, those who are responsible for the people management. SHRM is a comprehensive approach to the people management. It says that the people management is required at various levels. It is required at like the top level, middle level, and the lower level. It says that HR is required in all the departments. HR policies, management, employee management is required in all the departments. SHRM focuses on competitive advantage also. It says that HR strategy may become the source of the competitive advantage for any company. It also considers employees as the most important assets for any company. SHRM always has a long term focus. It focuses on the customers, internal and external. According to the SHRM concept, the internal customers are the employees. If the employees would be happy with your company, then they would be more committed and they will provide the quality, they will just work with the best of their efforts, which will result in the quality manufacturing of the quality products and delivery of the quality services. So that's why like the human resource department has the responsibility towards the internal customers as well as the external customers. SHRM has market and the environmental focus also. It says that whatever the HR practices you are going to implement, that should be according to the strategy, and the strategy for any organization are based on the environmental forces. So that's why SHRM has both the market and the environmental focus. SHRM elevates the status of the HR function also. Administrative and strategic HRM are inextricably intertwined. SHRM is a combination of hard and soft models. It says that according to hard model, there must be a proper fit of the strategy with the HR, and according to soft model, there must be proper consideration to the needs of the employees. Then SHRM also focuses on the measurement of the HR activities. It is based on the philosophy that what cannot be measured cannot be managed. So these all are the few characteristics of the SHRM. Then our next lecture we will discuss about the impacts of globalization on HRM. Thank you.